Welcome back, everyone, to Vale of the Pine, where today we are heading back into Dol Ernil, where I need to defeat whites in this place, which should not be a major problem since they are all over the place. But on top of that, I need to find some Kraban crawlers and gauntmen. There are some gauntmen in here. I've run to one or two of those already also. So we have those two things to find. On top of that, I also need to find some swords in here. How many of them? There are 4 ancient swords amongst the ruins. Now I think I have to go outside of this area in order to find the Kriban and company. But the Gauntmen and the Whites, they are definitely most easily found in this area. Actually, oh yeah, they just like to throw garbage all over the place. Oh, okay. Oh, an unpleasant weight lies heavily upon the stones beneath the towering wall. Good grief. Oh, hello. Aglond. Oh, there's a Gauntman. There's a Wraith. Will you just come to me? You're making it as tough as possible for me, aren't you? Oh, actually, hey, let's get rid of the. I keep forgetting what that corruption is. Uh, I just don't want to fight the Wraith and the Gauntman at the same time. There we go. Now, I can take care of this guy. Just in time. Of course he was going to do that to me. I mean, that's their usual MO. Stun you. Lurking disease. Not something I really want. Okay. This is probably just the aftermath of fighting that. Wraith. Alright, here we go. Let's also grab this thing. Mobs I'm finding here. You think I'd start to find the next tier of scholar materials, but I don't think there are any of those in Carterland unless they're in the old forest or something like that. Alright, well I think getting all the whites I need is going to be the easy bit. I was wondering where'd the dread come from. I think those foul whites are the one that's bringing it around probably. I know this is the virtue weekend, it looks like. It says, feeling virtuous. I don't know how you feel virtuous with all this death all over the place. With foul breath whites. Yeah. Dread aura of +1 dread. Alright, there you go. That's all the whites I need, but I still need those Gauntmen. Oh, and the other swords. I can't forget the swords. Ah, there's another one near Loylet's statue. Oh. Oh, that's right. Sorry, you can't see them from here, but if you go into a perfect position where you might be able to set up an ambush, then they'll see you and then come right at you. I don't know why I should expect anything different. Maybe I should have done what I did originally, and that was go into stealth mode. Well, I'll grab that. But what I really need is a sword. A sword. My Kingdom Forest sword. Oh. That's not a sword. That's a broken urn. Well, I'll learn that in a moment. There you go. I think the second sword is down this way. Or is it up this way? No, that's not a sword. I have a pair of whites here. Okay, maybe even a trio of whites. Really? Foul, foul, foul. Well, they even have it in their name, so I suppose that is fitting. Really? All that trouble for a lousy pot. No, I'm having trouble remembering where the other swords are. It's been a while since I've done this quest, apparently. So I'll just have to go all around here, looking for the right place. The quest tracker isn't helping me in the slightest for some reason. You would think that if I were in the area, I would be able to find it with the delete key, but, well, I'm going to have to read every single pot in the area so I can at least get rid of them. How about this way? Behind this building. Really? No swords. Actually, now I think of it, I don't think they're selectable until you get near them. Just to add a little bit of annoyance to it, I guess. Oh no, there it is. Or at least I think that's it. I guess I could test out my hypothesis on... Oh no, it's selectable. An aura of fear gripped you as you approached the western wall. There we go. Sword number 2. Himdor. So much for him. Ah, here is sword number 3. The stench of death and decay fills your nostrils as you approach this corner. Well, is it because of the sword? Or is it because of Mr. Foulbreath over here? Oh, good grief. Another one. This is Raid City, I think. Alright. Starting to get a hold of this one. Alright. Good. Let's pick up that sword. Oh, yeah. Fellerod. Okay, this fella is now dead. That's 3 of them. Now the 4th one is outside, thankfully. Now the last one should be below this hinge right over here. The air beneath the stone table feels foul and stagnant. So, last sword. Okay, good. Oh, okay, of course, the obligatory... this one's different from the other, probably because he's outside instead of inside. Alright, now. Oops. We still got these things, but back to Gorland's camp, which I think is this way. Ah, I see quest ring up ahead. I see rangers up ahead.
It is no small feat to brave the dangers of Turngothard and the keep of Dol Ernil.
I'm grateful for your efforts on behalf of the Dunedain. Menelder has shown me the account in Narndir's journal of the Great Fear, and if what the scholar wrote is true, the creature is a spirit drawn from the pits of Angmar, bound to the body of Prince Amandir. In life he was the lord of Tirn Gorthad, and Dol Ernir was his home. Surely this site will still have some meaning to him. Does the Great Fear remain somewhere within the keep, or has the presence of the Witch King and the Riders in Black already disturbed his slumber? Well, based on some of the weird things that have been happening around here, we're going to guess the latter. Well, what do you say?
Those swords should be brought to Halbarad at Sand Ford. He will know how best to deal with them.
Halbrand will know how to deal with those swords, and when you return, perhaps we will have learned where the Great Fear may be found. I agree with Gorwin. The creature must be somewhere within Dol Ernil. Well, be careful, for Narndir's journal paints a very frightening and deadly account of the creature. Yes, I'll be careful, my friend. Fear not. I will see you when you return. All right, so bring the ancient swords to Halbarad so that they may be destroyed, and so that something completely foolish will happen in this area, right? Look in Halbarad. I'm wondering if you know anything what can be done with these swords.
I have not forgotten you, nor the warning you brought to us of Sauron.
Let me now put your mind at ease. It seems that Saruman is the only of the wizards that betrayed us, and thank the powers for that. While you were gone, a rider came up out of the south, Gandalf the Grey, astride a mighty horse, a steed of Rohan. He spoke only briefly, but it was enough to assure me that Gandalf still aligned himself with the side of the free peoples. And yet, the wizard's tidings were not all rosy, for he said that evil forces are now in motion that could threaten the peace and safety of all of Middle-earth. He could spare no more time before hurrying into the Shire in pursuit of the Nazgul that preceded him. But what brings you back to this place? You briefly tell Halbrand that you have learned of the Great Fear, and that Gorwin and Meneldir believe it remains hidden somewhere in the keep of Dol Ernil. These swords that you bring to me will be destroyed, for the runes that cover their faces are evil. But after I see that done, you must return to Dol Ernil. I, and not alone. I and several of my company will go with you. I fear the two who remain may be in great danger. All right, so now I need to go back to Gorwin's camp. Perhaps I go into that dangerous mission against the Great Fear. I should bring the scroll to Riengar.
I am glad to see you again, friend. What have you there?
Ooh, this scroll is incredible. Absolutely incredible. I can read some of it, but most of the words are old, and I can't make them out or decipher them. I recognize Loylet's name, though. The scroll is about her, I'm sure of that. Well, okay. So what do we do about it?
How exciting and frustrating at the same time.
I feel like this scroll certainly holds the answer. I can't read it, but I know someone who can. Across the Greenway, near the northern border of Andrath, a caravan of travelers has circled up near the road. I traveled with them for some of the way to Bree, but they had a wheel crack and I needed to stop, so I went on alone. Among their number is a scholar, one of the little people called hobbits. She'll know how to read this. Let's bring the scroll to Melinus. Okay. Well then, should I go there first, or should I go up there first? I see two hobbits here. Well, Melinus is the one that's reading, so I presume she's the scholar.
Hello there. Riangar tells me you have a scroll that you cannot read.
I may indeed be able to help you with that. Let's have a look, shall we? I learned how to read the old tongue from my studies. I have been tracing my family history and exploring my lineage. Riangard and I met in Bree, and she told me that there are hobbits living in Swampfleet who visit Herne. I am aimed to meet these hobbits in the hopes that they might be able to fill in some of the blanks in my family tree. Ah, yes, I can read this, but it will take me some time to decipher it. In the meantime, there are some of our camp who could use your help. Why not speak to Gerwin while I work on this? Okay. I suppose so. Gerwin. Let's see. Ah, Gerwin.
Well met.
Yes, I'm Gerwin, and yes, I could certainly use your help.
Well met, fellow traveler.
Yes, there are brigands along here. I see that you are also not from these lands. We came down the Greenway from Bree, and I should have known our luck had been too good for too long. We were attacked by brigands as we passed along Androth, and in the hurry to get away from them, we had a wagon wheel crack. We circled up here for repairs, but I am worried the ruffians will follow us or attack us others on the road. Right, so I'll go and help with that. Now, that scroll could be important information about the Grey Fear, so I think we do need to have it. Otherwise, well, we may have something nasty in there. You say, why do I think the scroll has something to do with the Grey Fear? Other than previous play. And that is, of course, because it has to do with Loyalith, and we know that the Grey Fear is particularly giving trouble to Loyalith's family. There we go. So let's see, what do we need? We need to take care of knaves, archers, and raiders, right? Okay, well, while you bleed, I will take care of this. Yeah, she bled out eventually. Alright, now, well, the knaves, they seem to be the easy ones to get. You have all of them before you even start to get to the rest. Alright, we don't need any more knaves. Hey, who are you? You are a raider. And I guess your little, well, the wolfhound does not count for, actually, or maybe I don't have such a deed anymore. I probably killed all the wolves I needed to. Alright. Super annoying! This is when the raid comes, right? I mean, that would be par for the course, I would think. Alright. I finished bringing down the brigands.
You returned victorious. Most excellent.
I know that these roads are no longer traveled as much as they once were, but perhaps we have saved some lives today, and I'm grateful that we won't have to worry about having them at our backs. Alright, good. Alright, now, let's see what Melinas has to say now.
Fascinating scroll you and Riangar brought me.
This Lilith was an incredible person, a princess who fought for her people and who seems to have been much loved. Her tale reads like a spook story one might tell around the fire late at night, though. Gave me the shivers straight through, and I was standing in the sun. In any case, I wrote out what the scroll says and gave it to Riangard. She's waiting to talk to you. Oh, and Pineleaf, if you do decide to follow Loylet's footsteps, be careful. Wonderful. Well, alright, what's the story?
We have found something incredible.
The scroll tells of Loylet's final days. Such a tragic story, too. My heart is nearly broken reading her adventures and doom. You can read what Melinus has deciphered, but here is the long and short of it. Loylet and her family were fighting against arisen spirits too, just as I had expected. Sadly, she lost her son and her husband to the horrors that rose up across Carla. Yeah, I've heard about that. She went to the forest nearby to seek guidance from an old woman who lived among the trees. I don't know what guidance that she got, because Lilith vanished soon afterwards. However, her people revered her as a hero, because whatever happened to her, the spirits went back to the graves and troubled Cardaland no more. Well, I don't want to say no more because one of those spirits eventually destroyed Cardaland. Oh, go ahead and read the deciphered scroll for yourself, if you like. Then we shall speak of what I think it to do next. Alright, fine. Let's see. Deciphered scroll. The scroll is a testament to Princess Regent Lilith of Dol Ernil, and praises her character and deeds. In these days a fog rolled over the land, from whence emerged a plague of dead, who slew all before them. Most fearsome was a wraith-like creature known as Hithgrungor, the Grey Fear, who terrorized Dol Ernil. Lilith brought her young son Ulster to Fornost for his protection, while her husband, Prince Odenthel, hunted down the source of the evil. Prince Ostithel strode into the fog, a mighty warrior in his prime, only to later be stumbled out looking as though he had aged decades. With gasping words, he revealed that the evil had been banished, and that the land was safe once more. Aggrieved but proud, Lilith returned and served as Princess Regent until Ulster came of age. The people loved her, for she was good and kind and ruled wisely. But Ostithel's words were soon proven wrong. The great evil was not gone, for it returned in Cardaland's darkest hour. Called away to the defense of Dalmansul, Prince Ulster rode north with much of his household, but his absence is as the Grey Fear attacked once more, and Austria returned to find Dol Ernil merely a ruined shell, its people shattered or slaughtered, and Lilith nowhere to be found. Once more the dead rose and ravaged Cardaland, while Ulster and his few remaining knights fell back, retreating north. Is it not now that Lilith had been? Is it not now where Lilith had been? But tales say that when Ulster and his army did not return, she set out to aid them. She found only her son's loyal canine howling among the downs, and Lilith knew that Ulster was dead, for Austrian would never have leave his bastard. Oh, okay. So she was away and came back after the point about her son's death. All right. Lilith vowed to put an end to the torments and ravages visited upon the land and her family. She and Austrian went north to seek guidance, following whispers of some great power to dwell beneath the sinister boughs of the forest. She was never seen again, but the ravaging death quieted soon after and vanished back into the mists. The fate of Princess Lilith is unknown, but those she left behind built this statue in honor of her sacrifice. Okay, So, this is the story of the Grey Fear from a different point of view. Alright. Interesting.
My heart breaks for Luilos, losing so many, as well as having her kingdom ravaged.
Well, there is that.
Luilos was a hero, just as I always suspected.
It sounds like Lilith found some method of dispelling the dead that were plaguing Cardolan in her day, but there is no mention as to what that method might have been. The section about the forest is intriguing, though. I grew up hearing rumors of a hag of the old forest who has haunted its woods for hundreds of years. We need to talk to this hag. Perhaps she was the one that Lilith met with beneath the trees. Obviously, I can't accompany you, but I implore you to search for the hag of the woods. She could hold the key to understanding how to banish the risen dead. Oh, joy. Should we go out and search for her? This may prove to be the method we need in order to defeat the Grey Fear, so we will set out to the Old Forest in the next episode of Vale of the Pine.